Professional football player Terry Brogan is released by his team, the Outlaws. Aging, injured and in need of money. He is contacted by an old acquaintance, a gambler and nightclub owner named Jake Wise. Jake wants Terry to locate his girlfriend, Jessie Weiler, who also happens to be the daughter of the Outlaws owner. Terry is reluctant to take on the job, but needs the money and knows Wise is capable of blackmailing him for a point-shaving incident. Terry contacts Jessie's mother, but ends up mostly trying to convince Mrs. Weiler and her business partner Ben Caxton to reinstate him on the team. While she expresses no interest in his football career, she will pay him more than Jake would if he will instead find Jessie for her. Hank Sully, the Outlaws team trainer, strongly advises Terry to stay away from Jake and offers to help Terry land a coaching job. Terry is convinced his days as a player are not over and decides to work for Jake to tide him over until he can try to continue his playing career. Terry finds Jessie living in Cozumel, Mexico. He makes multiple attempts to approach her, but she rebuffs him, as she believes that he has been sent by either Jake or her mother. Terry tires of pursuing her and packs to leave, but Jessie appreciates that he has not revealed her whereabouts. She invites him to see where she is staying and they become lovers. Terry confides to her the leverage Jake has over him. Terry and Jessie remain happily together for a few weeks. Meanwhile, Terry continues to tell Jake he has been unable to locate Jessie. Jake sends Sully to investigate. He catches the lovers alone at the ruins of Chichen Itza. After a confrontation and ensuing struggle between Terry and Hank, Jessie fatally shoots Sully. She wants to flee, as the two will be unable to offer an explanation that will allow them to avoid jail. Terry refuses and Jessie quickly abandons him. After disposing of Sully's body, Terry returns to Los Angeles. There he is astonished to discover that Jessie has returned to Jake. Jake invites Terry to his nightclub where he tells him that he wants him to break into the office of Steve Kirsch, the Outlaws' corrupt lawyer, who is also involved in Jake's gambling operation. After leaving the nightclub, Terry goes to Jake's house to see Jessie. After a desperate confrontation, she admits both her love for him and the hold Jake now has over her after learning she was directly involved in Sully's death. Terry breaks into the office only to find Kirsch dead. Terry fights off a security guard, then hides Kirsch's body. He tracks down Kirsch's secretary, Edie, where he tells her what has happened and that she, too, is in danger. Edie tells him about a secret box that contains the information to bring down the entire syndicate and local politicians. They return to the office to retrieve the box. Jake tells Jessie that he had Kirsch killed and framed Terry for the murder. She goes to her mother's house and informs Caxton that Jake has been handling bets on his old football team using information he had been given by Sully and Kirsch. What she doesn't know is that Caxton is actually Jake's boss at the syndicate. Caxton takes charge. He arranges to meet Terry at the site of a new construction project that he and Mrs. Weiler are backing. Terry is able to disarm Caxton's henchman Tommy. He says his price for turning over the files is that Caxton must take down Jake. Caxton indicates he is receptive to that idea, whereupon Jake pulls his own gun and threatens to kill Jessie, forcing Terry to drop his weapon. While the men have their attention focused on each other, Jessie retrieves the dropped gun and shoots Jake, killing him. Having killed both Jake and Sully, she must agree to terms set by Caxton to avoid going to jail. Caxton's terms include Jessie returning to her estranged mother's side and ending her relationship with Terry. Months later, Terry stays in the background while attending a publicity function for Caxton's and Mrs. Weiler's construction project. He just wants a last look at Jesse before leaving Los Angeles to resume his football career in Miami, forced to acknowledge he is no longer a part of Jesse's life. Terry predicts that one day Jesse will break free of the hold that Caxton and Mrs. Weiler have on her. In the meantime, all Terry and Jesse can do is stare at one another from a distance.